Hey guys, Toxic here. With me is Seb. We're doing a new little video called Unbound, where we talk about basically whatever we want to talk about. That is kind of why it's called Unbound. But today we're going to be talking about kind of the hype or the anti-hype. I don't know, like really which way to put it on 7th edition 40k. Seb, you wanted to say a few words? I think you have a better grasp about what I'm trying to say here.
Well, yeah, as we all know, 7th edition is what the books are up for pre-order now. Looks like the box set's going to be coming in early August. We'll talk about that in a bit. But Toxic and I find ourselves very excited about the new prospect of the new edition and new rules and funds, things like that. The Warhammer hobby / fandom, lots of people will probably be ready to fight me for using the word fandom. I apologise, but it is a fandom to some people. Quite a reactionary bunch, and we do love you, but you can be very reactionary, and people are not happy, are they, Toxic? Some people are not happy at all.
No, and honestly, I didn't really want to do a video for a long time, and I did, my Toxic Talks, and I would kind of talk about the way that I felt about stuff and the way things were happening. But the way that I saw, like, just the reactions to 7th edition, the rumors and the rules and the confirmations and the prices and the products, and then when it just came to it, I'm like, I really don't want to touch that. I'm just going to let that go, let it die down, and then I'll do a video. Every time I felt like I was going to do a video, I really just kind of was like, nope, I'm going to leave it. But then it's really kind of getting to a point where I kind of want to talk about it. I mean, if we're getting so much stuff from one side of it, saying how terrible it is, or not terrible, but how different it is. We'll use the word different.
That's a good word. Different's a good word.
Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cool to kind of have a different spin on it, I guess.
Definitely. And the thing is, we are excited, and I know there are lots of other people out there that are excited. There's lots of big changes. We know this. We're going to do another video when we've got the books ourselves and can talk about the rules in more detail. We've been posting lots of rumours and lots of bits about rules, so you can all see them on analystindex.com if you want to check them out, and they're also all other various places. But at the end of the day, this is a new system of rules. If you don't want to use the new system, you can keep your 6th edition rulebook and play with people that want to play 6th edition. Just like Toxic and I have been discussing, we've got some of the even older rule books. We're thinking about maybe comparing some of the editions later on and seeing how that goes. But Games Workshop is a company that wants to make money and wants to put out something that people are going to want to play and have fun with, so they spend more money in it and make more money. They're a business, they want to make money.
Not only are they a business, they're a business that wants to sell models. Like that, primarily they sell their model kits. Secondary, they give you rules to play with them. The rules power the sales on the models. If people would buy them in the numbers that they buy them now without rules, they wouldn't bother with it. I'm sure, but they have to have that lore, that background to create not only the fandom, as you said, but also keep the rules to make people want to buy the models to play the games. So, but primarily they want to sell models to you because that's where they're making their cash. Not.
Yeah, well, and it's this thing. Well, we can touch on the whole Unbound thing. If you're talking about money and models, people seem to be terrified that with the new Unbound rules, lists are going to get more and more cheesy, and basically it's going to be all the shooting in the face and don't worry about objectives, I'm just going to board wipe you and go home. Now, there could be some of that. And there could be some, but this whole thing about pay to win, you can still buy big stuff, big models. You can have a whole army of knights right now, and technically they're more expensive, so you could say that they're pay to win. It makes me feel better about your victories against me with your knights.
If it's already... If you're going to look at it in the pay-to-win aspect, it's already paid to win. But I don't agree. I don't agree at all.
I'm not putting that. I'm saying this is what people are saying.
I definitely see. But it's it's already there. If that's the way you're looking at it, if you have more money to spend on it, you can get a better army. No doubt about it. Like, the more money you can afford to put in, yeah, the more you're gonna get out. But I mean, again, I've done a lot of, again, alliesindex.com. You can see a lot of my stuff that I've posted about how to get armies that are relatively on the cheap, that can still work very good, like, using majority of stuff from the starter sets and buying parts and then doing conversions and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting off point here, but yeah, the point is, I don't think pay to win is,
No. And that guy, because there's the whole article about that guy who brings the cheesy list that no one's going to want to play with, like that guy may suffer, but the thing is, like, who are you playing with? Like, surely, if you're paying 40k, you may be paying competitively in competitions and stuff, but you must have some friends, maybe inverted commas, friends that you play this game with. You're going to have to be some agreement about, first of all, Focus Organization chart or Unbound, or agree to play them against each other and take the bonuses or whatever, or negative points. I just don't know. Like we have a player a lot over Vassal because you're an American, I'm in England, so I can take whatever I want and don't even have to have it. But I'm not going to take 20 million Helldrakes as much as I might want to. I'm not going to do that to you.
And when you're playing with, I played in mostly groups where it's just friends. I've played where I've gone to Games Workshop every day, and I mean every day. I was that close, and just playing random people whoever showed up. I've also been where I haven't had any friends in my area, and I can only play people at an independent retailer. So you don't have, it's not the Games Workshop, it's just an independent retailer. And I played in all of those things, and I mean, the hardest one I would admit is if you don't have friends that you're playing with and you're just going to an independent retailer and picking up games, because that is where you're going to find that guy. You may find him at a Games Workshop, but the majority of Games Workshop I go to, it's mostly full of people that are just there to have fun, or it's just kids as well, like a lot of young people getting into the hobby, and they're not going to be getting 12 Helldrakes or whatever, or it's just people that want to have fun, because I guarantee you, people that go to Games Workshops to play don't really have as much hate towards Games Workshops as other people, and that's something that I can exactly say. When I was going to Games Workshop a lot, I didn't have as much negative thoughts towards Games Workshop, and then as soon as I move away and I go to the store less, you get those thoughts back of Games Workshops is terrible people. It's just, it happens. But anyway, where was I going with this? I forgot it again. Oh, when you're playing with a group of friends, it's definitely an arms race kind of thing. Like, I know when I was playing with Savage a lot, it was like, he would buy this to counter my army, and then, well, he's got this new thing, so I have to go out and buy something to counter that part. And you build your armies based on what you're fighting. And that happens not only in groups with friends, but also if you're playing at a local store, there's going to be a local meta where people are going to be taking certain things, and you're going to buy to counter that. So if someone's bringing this Helldrake list, you're going to buy a lot of anti-aircraft to counter the Helldrakes. If you buy a Helldrakes and make that list with just Helldrakes, or just whatever unit, I'm using Helldrakes as an example, there's going to be a counter to it. Lots of anti-aircrafts. It's going to be done. It's going to suffer. And then it's going to be done.
Have a small amount on the board. Could be board wiped before you get the Helldrakes even in. Going on about the Helldrakes again, but yeah.
Yeah, it's, yeah. So there's always going to be a counter, because it's kind of going to be an arms race. You're going to get this list, this all Helldrake, this all Riptide, whatever list, and it's going to win once. And then people are going to figure out what they need to take to beat it, and you're never going to win again. It's going to end people, if people don't enjoy it. The thing that really makes me sad about the Unbound is that I was thinking how fun it would be to play an all like an Imperial Navy army, where it's just like Valkyries, Vendettas, and like the Forge World Flyers and stuff, flying in squadrons and stuff. And I thought it's really cool reading the books when they have like a squadron of flyers and they're like flying around, going against other flyers or attacking ground units and all that. And I thought that'd be really cool to have like this like an Imperial Navy themed army, which is something you could easily do. But then you're going to think like, yeah, it's not as shocking as a Helldrake, but then you're still just taking an army of flyers.
Yeah, but the Unbound's there for you to do what you want with, though, isn't it? So you can try things out, and again, you could. There's the whole. People like throwing money grab at Games Workshop all the time. We can go through one of the various points that people seem to hate on Games Workshop maybe in a moment, but they're saying you can try all these things out, so you can go and get whatever models you like. And like for a player like yourself, how many armies do you have on the go at the moment? Like,
right now, not too many, but if we want to, I did count up how, I can't remember exactly, but I counted up the other day of how many armies I have had, and it was like, it was something ridiculous. We just went down the list, and it was like 4 Blood Angels, 3 Space Wolves, 2 Necrons, like, it was crazy numbers like that, but yeah.
but it gives you a chance to mix that up a bit and try various bits of those things out.
Definitely. And I think it does come down to that is, if you are money conscious, you're really not going. Well, I mean, everyone is money conscious, but I mean, like, if you've got X amount of money, whether it be 500 to 5,000, to make an army, are you really going to sink that all into 9 Riptides, or however many? Are you really going to do that? Because is that really going to be a list that has staying power? I don't think so.
How many people are actually going to do that? Not everyone's got the money to do that.
It's just not something. If this is going to be your army to play, it's not going to have any staying power at all, because it's, for one, you're probably going to be stopping yourself from playing in any tournaments at all. 2, if you're playing against friends, they're going to load up on anti-flyers and just wreck you, because that's how they have to win, so that's what they're going to do. The same thing's going to happen in a local store, or even worse, people are just not going to want to play you. So eventually you have this army that you made with the Unbound rules, and there's going to be no point. So really, to me, the Unbound comes to making creative lists that you're going to be able to get use out of because they're not completely broken, or you're going to come down to the people that want to paint up an army, want to model an army, just to have the army. Not so much play it all the time, but a nice thing just to display, like, this is actually an army, and yeah, you could do that anyway, if you're not going to plan on playing it, but I like, when I make an army, I like to at least have it in the back of my head that I'm staying within the rules, it gives you more gratification than just buying models and done,
Definitely, but and the other thing, like, the fluff is going to be a big factor behind the Unbound. Everyone's talking about, like, how it might be not fluffy and people taking cheesy stuff, but there's the whole Iron Warriors list, Night Warriors list. There's all sorts of things that you can be able to make far more fluffy and realistic to what they would actually be, which the Force organization doesn't necessarily give you.
Yeah.
Another thing is we've got all these new missions coming that we've seen a little bit of some of them. We haven't seen a lot of them. Like, we hear that if you're using a Force organizational chart, then all units are going to be scoring, it sounds like. There could be many different ways to be getting I can't think what they're called, not kill points, victory points.
Mm-hmm.
There could be a whole plethora of ways to earn victory points, which are going to benefit if you're not just an unbound shooty monstrosity. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. No, I definitely understand. It really does come down to where you're playing and how you're playing, because they have all those new, like, battle mission card things and whatever,
yeah.
And it seems like that could be an optional thing, and if you're placed somewhere that they don't use them, then your games are going to be completely different if you play somewhere that does use them. Because if they are majority of, you need some sort of scoring unit to win, because those are the objectives, then you're never going to see someone play a crazy Unbound army with no scoring units, because you're never going to win. I mean, unless you board wipe. But even then, if you're playing with the cards, you're probably going to be wanting to play some really cool missions, and just, that's what I liked about 6th edition. I really felt like there was a change in the dynamic of, this is a game that you can play, whether this is a game that you tell stories with. This is a game that you just, you already love the fluff. This is where you get to get that fluff, and you get to play that, and it's a cinematic kind of game. and I think that's where they were going with it. But then I think people's minds were still in the 4th, 5th edition, where it's like rules are rules. You play like this to win like this. And 6th edition came out, and they're like, we're not kind of doing that anymore. We want to do these these cinematic story kind of epic battles that you can create your own stories and stuff. But then people weren't really using it like that. And it turned into this really broken, just Death Star units with Hell Drakes, and it was just like, well, how crazy can you make a combo to win the game? I think their idea was like they wanted to make this really cinematic kind of theatrical rule system that felt more like you're watching a movie or reading a book rather than playing a game. But I think people took it and made it into this mess of, let's make combos. So what makes me really excited about 7th edition, because I love playing 6th edition with a more story-driven game and a more theatrical kind of look at it. So what really makes me excited about 7th edition is that they're going to change some of the things in 6th edition that made it that mess of combos, that kind of like thing, and they're going to turn it into and fix that and make it so it is more of a story-driven kind of game, which I love, but a lot of people are not going to like, which is why I think I heard a rumor somewhere that they were going to release kind of like a tournament style rule set as well. Did you hear that one?
I had not seen that yet. That sounds really interesting.
But I think that would be a really good idea. So you have kind of like a kit for tournament players, like these are the rules that you use for tournament play, or highly competitive play. I think that would be cool, because you're giving those players what they want, but you're also going to make some money on the extra books and supplements to get that. So, I mean, Games Workshop wins. Story players don't have to get it. And I think everyone will win. And I think the tournament player could look at that and be like, well, why do I have to spend the extra money? Why not make the tournament rules the main rules, the competitive rules, and then make the story stuff the supplement? And the only thing I can think of when it comes to that is, well, which way is Games Workshop going to make more money?
Yeah, and realistically, we keep saying it is a business, and they weren't doing as well recently. It wasn't too long ago. They weren't selling quite so well, so they were focusing on things that are going to be making them more money. And realistically, we need them to be making money. Money grab gets thrown out all the time. People say lots of things, but they need to make money, otherwise they will stop happening. Like, they'll stop bringing things out.
And that's it. And if you think it's a money grab, don't buy it.
Yeah.
But if someone buys it, that's good, because that's supporting your hobby. If someone else buys it, don't yell at them for putting money down on it, because they're helping you in the long run.
Exactly.
Maybe it is a money grab because they need money to make more stuff. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it.
And going back to what you were saying about story missions 6th edition, we've had a lot of fun with like the Dorian campaign, and I've got the last battle to write up for that. But you can have some really great cinematic battles with 6th edition rules, and like there have been 6th edition tournaments as well. There's no 6th edition tournament rules, but tournaments will always have their own rules. And even with 7th edition, whether there's official tournament rules or not, rules are going to be made up. It's like there was that tournament was it in Germany or Sweden that allowed Tyranids to ally with Tyranids, which is something that isn't in 6th edition. Tournaments will do what they can to balance it up and have their own rules.
The whole 1,999 plus 1 points limit, just to stop people doing like the 2,000 points, you get the double, because 2,000 points you get double force organization charts, right? And 2,000 points, a lot of tournaments go 2,000 points, but they don't want people to go double force organization charts, so the points is like 1,999 plus 1, and then you're not playing 2,000 points, so you don't do. And people are also, not even in tournaments, people are going to come up with the real way to play 40k, like the real way, you don't take Unbound. The real way, you do it this. Like, that's the real way to play. And we're all kind of guilty of it. I mean, I think the real way to play is to take it as a story, is to forge your own battles. But obviously, people don't want to do that. They just want to. Personally, I think that's a terrible way to play if you're just looking at it as a competitive game of advanced chess or something like that. Because if you don't care about the story or anything, then go play chess or something like that.
Wait, it might as well not be 40k. That's one of the things we are blessed with in 40k is how rich the story and the fluff in the background, everything is. And I think, yeah, if you're not tapping into that and taking advantage of that, you're not. But then again, we're now telling you how to play. The thing that's important is having fun. As long as you're having fun and doing what you want to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's what I was saying. Is like we're all guilty of saying how you should play the game, but I mean we like the story way, but other people don't. And if that's not if you want to play it just as a super competitive thing and don't really care too much about the fluff, if you're having fun, if you're buying the models, go for it. As long as you're not versing me. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, there's a lot of new stuff coming, and it's exciting. I can't quite get my head around why. Because I was talking to Boris, and he was saying about the new edition of Infinity, and the general consensus for the Infinity community is they're ridiculously excited, but we seem to be very torn. We're excited. Other people are very, very angry. But people just don't like change as
what
well.
I really was having to think about is, and I think everyone should kind of reminisce a little bit when you first got into 40k and you didn't go on the internet, read articles, read forums. Maybe the whole internet side of it wasn't even around. I mean, the game's over 25 years old now. Maybe that whole part of it even wasn't around. But I can remember back when it was like 2004 when I started getting into 40k, but 2008 is when I really got in and I had some money to actually throw down on an army. And we didn't really know the rules. We were playing our games, didn't know how to make a competitive list or what worked and what didn't. And where it's just like, this is cool. 40k is awesome. I love this army and this guy, and we're just throwing these stuff together and having these games and and just that nostalgia of it, of not worrying about what was OP or not worrying about the changes in the rules, because at that point these are the only rules we had known. They hadn't changed. It was right when 5th edition came around, so 5th edition was 1st edition for us because we didn't know all the other ones, and that was like we didn't care about change. And I was thinking about that the other night, and I was like, that's the way I want to think about it now. I mean, I know it's like nostalgia, and it's not the way that it's going to work, but that's the way I want to think about it. Like, I want 7th edition to come around, and I just want to be excited to play it, and just kind of throw down some games and make my army and stuff. And I've said it a lot, I don't play competitively anymore. There was a short period of time for a couple years where I did like the idea of playing competitively, going to tournaments and throwing down that way. And now when I think about it, I just don't like it. It just doesn't get me excited about 40k anymore. So I like to think of it in the story aspects and just and playing that way. And that's the way that I get my joy from the hobby. And I look at it as excitement and new stuff. And there's going to be things that make me angry and annoy me. It's just, but I'm just trying not to bring me down, and just ruin the hobby for me, because when it comes to it, 40k is a huge part of my life as a hobby. Without that, I don't do too much else. and if that's ruining it for me, then I should probably look at doing something else, so I don't waste my time just worrying over the negative sides to it. And that's kind of just what I wanted to say, is like, if it really is bugging you, the changes, then maybe it is, maybe take a break from it. Just see how it goes. Wait and see if it really is terrible, the end of 40k. Maybe look at something else, because your time is precious. There's no point of wasting it just getting down on something.
Games are supposed to be fun. That's the thing. It's supposed to be a fun hobby thing to do for fun. So, yeah, either have fun with it or don't. And like not saying no one's allowed, like people shouldn't express their opinions and stuff.
Mhm.
People are. There's one thing being negative and not liking something. That there is, I think it's fair to say there is a lot of hate that definitely flies Games Workshop's way.
I mean, yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
it is definitely warranted. I mean, they're not perfect, but I mean, at the same time, just enjoy it. And the problem is, like what I was saying before, it's hard to get out of the hobby because a lot of people have invested so much money and time into it. So when you do see it change, and you're not liking it, it definitely can get you that riled up because you have thrown down a lot of money, a lot of time. I know I've thrown down a lot of money, and it makes me sad when I think about how much money I've thrown down into it. But it also
Yes.
doesn't, because I've also enjoyed every moment of it, and it just, the people I've met, the experience I've had, I don't regret it, but it does kind of hurt when you do see changes and you're like, I don't like that. And this is because everyone feels a slight bit of ownership towards it. Like, like you kind of own a little bit of 40K because you put so much effort into it. And when Games Workshop, the real legal owners of the game, make changes, it can get to that point.
Yeah, it's
When
everyone's
you
baby.
So yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to also quickly touch, just before we come to an end. Like people talking about the money and things. There are the way the price steps up in Australia is one thing, and that is kind of crazy. We talked about the Monatorium edition on the blog and showed pictures of that. That was kind of crazy money, but that it was a special limited edition thing for someone with crazy money to get. Like there wasn't a normal edition. But the standard price in UK where Games Workshop was from, and I am for the rule book is £50 for the rules, the art book, and the fluff book all in one. That there's a point you were making the other day. That's not crazy compared to other games and other formats of stuff.
It's I've spent $85 on my pre-order, 3 books, all of them good size. I believe they're all I think they're all larger than a codex. I think.
There were at least 128 pages.
Mhm.
One's 144. Yeah.
And codexes go for about 50. This is 85. You get 3 books. I mean, the price is not bad. I mean, looking at anything else I have these books here, like the role playing one. Seb, you can't see it, but I'm holding up Rogue Trader right now.
Yep.
Excellent quality, but you do pay a lot. I got this when it first came out. I know I paid more because I was getting it before it was kind of released. I paid $100 for this book. Again, in Australia as well, so the prices were a little bit higher. But yeah, so it's any hobby is gonna have. I mean, you were talking about Dungeons and Dragons. To get into that, to get those books, like you're throwing down, the same if not more.
Yeah. But that even secondhand sometimes with the core rulebooks is crazy.
And just what you were saying before with the Australian prices, not touching on it too much. Just want to throw out there though, when you do come down to, because I've lived in Australia, brought Warhammer in Australia, lived, worked, paid taxes, and brought Warhammer in Australia. I've lived, worked, paid taxes, brought Warhammer in America, and I still think I would rather do it all in Australia when it comes to the minimum wage and how much you're making, rather than the cost of things. There is no reason really why the prices needs to be higher, and I do agree that it is something that they're probably only doing because they can, and they were doing it before when the dollar was worse, and when the Australian dollar got better, they didn't adjust the prices to meet that. But I do still think that when you do come down to the minimum wage in both places and how much you're earning, depending on how much you're spending on, then that's just completely off topic, but I wanted to kind of touch on that. I do find that, I was, earning a little bit over minimum wage, making it's like $22, $23 an hour buying Warhammer in Australia. Now I'm earning, again, over minimum wage here in Oregon, but I'm only making about $11 an hour. And when you look at the prices, it does work out. It does even out a little bit. And when you're in Australia, you do have the option to buy from overseas as well. A little bit harder with Games Workshop prices, but yeah, just my 2 cents on that. Because I know people bitch about that a lot, But a lot of people that do kind of complain about that haven't experienced it from the other country. It's just when you're in the one country looking at your Australian prices compared to the American prices. But until you really go over there, and it kind of just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. 70% bit more in context.
Yeah.
But I think, just to sum up, we are ridiculously excited, and we are not criticizing or calling out the 40k community, because we are part of the 40k community and we love them, and there's some amazing people out there. But just saying, maybe try and get involved in the excitement, and because this is going to be fun, and there's going to be some great stuff for people to play with competitively, fluffily, cheesily, however that you want to play. There's going to be some stuff, and I've won. I'm just gagging to get my hands on that rulebook and get our first game of 7th edition in.
Right. And really that's the whole idea of the video, is just to kind of add a new perspective, maybe change a couple perspectives, throw out our perspective, because there is a lot of negativity, and we thought maybe we should add a little bit of positivity in it. I remember when 6th edition came out, how excited I was for 6th edition, and that was, not long ago. And everyone likes to put that out as well. It's like, we just had a new edition. But I was excited then, and I'm excited now, so I don't care. Bring out one a year, and I'll still be excited every damn year.
But this is the thing, 6th edition was my first edition. One of the things personally exciting, I'm just excited to be here on the ground floor with this one. We just had Journey into Nyx and Born of the Gods with Magic the Gathering, and it was nice to be part of the rumours and being involved in something from the get-go. And I think that's something that people can get excited about as well. Try and think we're all starting something new together.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm that's another part of me I'm excited about, is just to see battle reports and just see people's experiences. Negative stuff is going to come out of it. That's going to happen, but I'm just looking forward to hearing the awesome things that come out of it, because I remember some of the awesome things that came out of 6th edition were wait, we can do that now? We can throw grenades? How long have we wanted to throw grenades for? We can do that now. Yes. Or we can shoot at them when they charge us? Why haven't we been able to do that before? And it's just things like that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out of this. And I don't expect there to be as much changes, because it hasn't been as long. But there is going to be changes, and it's going to be fun. And I'm just, oh man, the first time that we're playing a game, and we use the new psychic power or something like that, or we use the new psychic phase or whatever, and something amazing happens from that, and just that feeling of using something new and it being epic, or just being disastrous and blowing back in your face, and I think that's really what I'm looking forward to. And when I go into a game, it is enjoying, even if I get my face smashed, or something, I have terrible rolls or something like that. Even if my opponent does something and it's epic and it's amazing to see, I just get enjoyment from that too. It's fun, and I'm really excited. As soon as I saw the pre-orders up, I put those pre-orders down, and now I cannot wait to get that to get those cards, new rulebook in the mail.
And then August for the set. Oh, such a long time to wait.
It is, but I mean, when you look at it, it's just, at this point, if you're getting the rulebook, it is just new models. It's not like it's new models with new rules. It's stuff you could do now anyway. It's just gonna be a little bit longer. When it comes to the starter set, I'm really actually looking about what other armies I can make out of it. Because that's where I get a lot of my ideas for cheap armies, is what I can get out of the starter set. Because when people open up those things and start picking them up and selling them piecemeal on eBay, you can get some nice deals on some of those units. And I think that's what you're looking at, is how can I turn these Blood Angels into some cool Chaos guys.
Yeah, they're going to be evenly split between Sarah's Dark Angels and my Fermenters. Because I also I love the idea of them being Blood Angels as well, because the whole Daunian Heresy Blood Angels being Nurgle, it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, and I'm just looking forward to. I know I'm probably not going to change any of them. I'm looking more forward to the Orcs rather than anything, because it's been a while since I played Orcs. Actually, thinking of Orcs, just another thing we were talking about, kind of going all the way back to the Unbound. I used to play the Forge World Dread Mob army, which is just basically Killer Cans, Death Dreads, Mega Dreads, Mecha Dreads, and all Dreads basically. And playing that against my friends, and I can tell you I didn't play that army for very long, because it would be like I would line up just a line of dreadnoughts and stuff just from one end of the board to the other. I would start walking forward, and the game would stop when I reached the end of the board. Because no normal army is set up to deal with that much armor. No normal army can deal with it. And for the first couple games, people actually like diversing it, because it's not something you see all the time. It's really fun to see and to play against, but eventually it's like, they didn't complain to me or anything like that, and they told me it was amazing and awesome and really difficult to beat, but eventually myself, I just felt like, I can't keep playing this because I know I'm going to win. I'm not going into it thinking, damn, that army looks tough. I was going into it looking like, well, there's 2 melter guns, 3 las cannons, probably take about maybe 4 dreadnoughts, but by the time they kill that, I'm going to be, I was just kind of, you were not looking at it like, you knew you're gonna win because you just couldn't lose. You couldn't lose.
Sounds dreadful. Oh dear.
Yeah, dreadful.
But they dreaded playing you.
I also had a stomper too.
So you're that guy.
That's not true. I mean, the Forge World Death Dread was a list that you could get with the Forge World books.
Yep.
And it was fun to just play that army. But then eventually I eventually sold it because there was no challenge in it for me. Yeah. And I like that back and forth. I love it when I start a game and I'm like winning and I'm like, yeah, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wait a second, this is not good, and I end up losing, or the other way around, where I'm like, damn it, I lost from turn 1, and then at the end you're like, oh wait, I won right at the end.
Yeah, so you don't seem to get so much of the first one. It's a bit of the second, maybe.
Yeah, but if I say I can't sound like I'm too big-headed or anything like that. Like, oh, most of my games, I love it when I seem like I'm losing, and then I can sit back and look worried. Oh no, I might lose, and then all of a sudden I'm in control the whole time. No, I can't say it like that. I can't say it like that.
Oh, that was beautiful. We'll just end on that.
Let's not end on that. Speaking of that, I do need to put up the battle report between me and Sarah.
Oh,
with that one.
Oh dear. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, and we're excited.
Although speaking of that, this is what I was worrying about in 6th edition, because in 5th edition, at the end of 5th edition, I was kicking some serious butt. And I've talked about my Dark Elder and how much butt they kicked, and at 5th edition, this is what I was thinking, was now we have to start again. Because now everyone is on equal footing. I don't have more experience than anyone else because it's a new edition. And I was kicking butt in 5th, and I was worried about 6th, and it changed things around. My Dark Elder were now not as strong. They did get a little bit nerfed. I hate using that word, but it was, true. And it's the same thing now. Like, it's fresh. It's, you can go into it, and there's new challenges await. It's great. And anything else, but in the majority of any other hobby, video games and stuff like this, people would be really excited. If you're looking at this like maybe like a DLC or just like a sequel or something, people would be excited. I mean, there's always going to be negative things, but there's too much negativity going around now with 7th edition, so we need to start looking out and getting excited. Because I know I am, and I know Seb is.
I am.
And I think when we finally get our rulebooks, and oh man, it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
I mean, it should be about this time in a week we should have him. I mean, the only thing I'm concerned about is that I've found that usually when I order stuff, when I was back in Australia and I ordered something from Games Workshop, it'd be like they ship within 24 hours. I'd get it in a couple days. Now though, when I'm in America, they ship within 24 hours usually, and then they're shipping via FedEx, so I really don't like. I think they really slow, and I end up in a week and a half getting it. So what I'm really concerned about is that they're going to ship it on the 24th is when it's released, right? I'm really concerned they're going to ship it on the 24th, which is a Saturday. It's not going to do anything on Sunday. It's going to go out on Monday. Not get anywhere near me till the Friday, Saturday, and it's going to sit during the weekend again. So now I'm looking at the second Monday after the Saturday it's released. So we're not looking till like next month. That is my ultimate concern, and I'm going to be so mad if that happens.
If that does happen, and I get mine next Monday, I'll read it to you like a bedtime story.
Well, when the Imperial Guard came out back in 5th, and I had some pre-orders down, I had my Codex and I had my Valkyrie before the release date. They shipped it out and I got it before it.
Wow.
So that's what I'm hoping. I don't think it's going to happen, because every time I pre-order something, I'll always get it later. And I mean, it happens. Like, they tell you on the website, they ship it out on the day. They're not telling you that you're going to get it on the day. They ship it out the day it's released. And if that happens, I'm really thinking that I'm probably going to have to wait a week and a half from next week. So I'm probably looking at 2.5 weeks for the rulebook. But at least other people will be posting stuff.
Yep.
And I can
that's
get
what we can do
even more
another of these
excited.
videos talking about rules when we have them.
Yeah, so...
Because we can speculate, but all the rumours and stuff are up on the blog.
Yeah. But that's another video going over rules. I definitely think it'll be better once we have it in our hands, because, well, at least when Seb has his in his hands, and then I'm still waiting. But yeah, I definitely think that's going to be the best bet, because we don't want to add fuel to the fire that we're trying to quench right now, like by throwing up rumors and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, any final words?
Don't worry, be happy. I think that's my general thing. It's all about the fun, and try and get excited.
Yeah, it really is. You know, have fun, get excited. Check out alliesindex.com. Because I guarantee you there's going to be plenty of excited posts and videos and battle reports, and we're doing a lot more battle reports than what we usually have. I mean, we're looking at we've had one a week now for a while, at least one a week for probably over a month. Well, yeah, we've had multiple ones, so I mean, it's definitely some more excitement. Check it out.
We'd love to hear from you,
Yeah.
But if you're excited in the things that you're planning on doing, or when you finally get your stuff and you want to throw your thoughts in on the rule books and all that stuff, then we'd love to hear that as well.
And yeah, we do have a submission option, so you can submit to us. If you want to become a regular poster, we're open for that too. If it's something you want to do, I would really like it. What I would really like, because I can't do it anymore because I just don't have the group anymore. But I think it'd be really cool if there was a group of people that did battle reports. Either submit some to us or tell us if you post battle reports to Tumblr, let us know so we can reblog them onto Allies Index, because that'd be cool. That's something I would really like to see.
Definitely, that'd be awesome.
Because it's something that I could have done, but I don't have the group anymore, so I can't do it anymore. So yeah. Yeah.
Awesome scenes.
So that was Unbound. No, obviously the title was kind of taken from the new rules, but it was more of Unbound to anything. Any games. Today was 40k. Majority of the time it's probably going to be 40k. But there'll be other stuff as well. But yep, so once again, I'm Toxic. With me was Seb.
How we doing?
And yeah, have a good one. Get excited.
Tatted bye.
Peace.